Hi folks, a very warm welcome to you once again. My name is Nick from ZXspectrum 48K and we're playing Back to the Future Part 2, which has got a jolly good soundtrack to it, the film anyway. This one, well, it's got music at the start and not much elsewhere, but published by Imageworks in 1990. It's an action-adventure game over 5 stages, which include like beat-em-up bits, action and puzzles. It's set in Hill Valley in the year 2015 and 1985 as well, I suppose. Here we go, here's the DeLorean going back to, well, the future. Doc Brown, Marty McFly, Biff, Griff, Mr. Strickland, George McFly, Lorraine Baines, all your favourite characters are there. And it's based on the movie directed by Robert Zemeckis in 1989, starring Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd. Reviewed this game already on the Commodore Amiga, so let's see how it shapes up on the good old ZXspectrum. Hooray! Great Scott! Yes, Great Scott indeed. I don't think Great Scott is actually in this game. So here's a few credits. I'm trying to exit out of this, but I don't seem to be able to. Come on. Now, Back to the Future 1 and Back to the Future 3 is also out on the Spectrum, which at the time of recording, I haven't reviewed as of yet. So let's define some keys to make it a little bit easier for myself. But I believe the first level is over a hoverboard. And, yes. Marty, you have to come back with me. Where? Back to the future. Why have they painted the DeLorean pink? Maybe that's what they're going for. Here's Marty McFly, going on his hoverboard. Now these levels, well, this level is rather a bit long. Hopefully I can make it to the end. If not, I'll put in a cheat for infinite strength. But you know, hopefully I can do it. Go Marty, go. Marty be good, or Johnny be good, as he sung under the Enchantment Under the Sea dance a bit later on. Movies are epic. There's old Griff there, Biff. I mean, hey McFly, I thought I told you never to come in here. Shut up, Griff. Right, old Biff, whoever you are this time. So we're in Hill Valley. This is the year 2015. At the time of recording, the year is 2021. So I'm 6 years ahead of this stuff now. Where the hell is my hoverboard? I want my hoverboard. There's Griff's gang. Watch it. He's got a bit of a problem with his bionic implant. But these boards don't work on water, as we might see a bit later on. In 2015, cars could fly. I think I must have been at home that day and didn't notice. But there's the Cafe 80s somewhere, which maybe we'll try and go to. Right, energy on the bottom right, not looking overly good. But we're going back to the future. As you can see in the display, lives are free, score is an amazing 350, and time is ticking down. It's amazing, isn't it? We've got a time machine, but time is one thing we sort of like haven't got. Yes, Back to the Future 2 and 3, they was made at the same time, I believe. Extended time, a little time after Back to the Future, the original one. But yeah, can I get off stage 1 without the cheat? We'll soon find out. Pressing the fire button, holding it down makes a big jump. I'll tell you what I am finding difficult with this version over the Commodore Amiga is it's very hard to hit the gang off their hoverboards. On the Amiga version, I seem to be punching them off quite easily. Here, I'm finding it a bit hard to get the timing. I don't think I've even pushed one of them off. Now, every so often you'll see icons that I collect by driving over them. That should give me extra energy, but I lost a life there. Get ready. So it is rather cool, the coding, when it goes into this isometric bit from the horizontal. That gives it a bit of extra dynamic, but it does go on maybe a little bit longer than, it's not a hideous amount, it goes on a bit longer than I would ideally like, so a few kids might not have got past the initial hoverboard bit. The idea of these reviews, as you pretty much know if you've been watching the channel for a while, is not expert gameplay, although it does sometimes happen by random. It's about seeing what your first or second go would have been like as a kid. Would you have got much out of the game? Would you want to go back to it? Or would you have just started crying because you just spent your whole pocket money on something? Now, I would have liked this because, much like the Indiana Jones games, although this is better than Indiana Jones for my money, the game at least, because of the movie franchise, it would have kept me going for ages. So my Commodore Amiga was bundled with this game initially, along with Shadow of the Beast 2. Happy days. But it's a good version of this. It's not up to the Commodore Amiga's standards, but it's pretty much the same game. You can see what they're trying to do. So excellent. Now, Marty McFly needs to rescue Jennifer, who's trapped in this, and there's an alternate 1985 as well, where George McFly is dead, and we have to sort that out too. But this bit's quite near the start of the film, isn't it? The hoverboard thing. I need to watch these films again, if I get any time off, which, well, who knows. I don't know who that is. That's one of the gang. Maybe it's... No, it's not Niles, is it? Or Needles. That was his name, wasn't it, in there. Come on, Marty. But the 48K is lacking a bit of music in there. I believe the 128K might play some music as we're going through to add a little bit of atmosphere. Here it's a bit flat. You think to the Back to the Future movies without any music, it'd still be good, but it wouldn't have the sort of like impact. Let's get over old Biff there. He might run a casino in alternate 1985. He's probably done a bit of it. Now, you can grab hold of cars, which I've done there. Dun dun, that's the power of love. Don't need money, don't need something else. Don't need no credit card to ride this train. That was a song in the first movie. It's the power of love. Bum 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 bum. Marty, where are you, Marty? Okay, Doc, I'm just trying to get round these hoverboards. Hoverboards? Right. Great Scott. And all those sort of like things. He says so many great lines in these films. So many great lines. My favourite one of the trilogy is Back to the Future Part 2. I love the first one. Third one is okay, but, you know, it's the last one of the trilogy. And it ends in a bit of a weird way. Always been a bit weird too, as like end those movies. Every so often you hear something about rebooting Back to the Future, but with a different cast. But you can't do that because you cannot improve on perfection. And I don't think it'd go down very well with fans. Leave it as it is. Don't have a Back to the Future Part 4, 5 and 6. It will just ruin what's already there. Think of new ideas. Leave this as precious as it is as being brilliant. We don't need about, I don't know, 20 Back to the Future films, because then what happens is what's happened with Star Wars, it decays a bit. Or having said that, I do like The Mandalorian, the bits I've seen. Right, so you can see, we're up another road, collected some Pepsi Cola free there. If Pepsi are watching, please send me a crate of Pepsi Cola for me mentioning you. They won't do, but you know, I might as well say it anyway. One day I might be surprised and a load turns up. Marty McFly. This time next Saturday night, we're sending you back to 1985. Bom 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 bom. Where's Mr. Strickland? He might be in this. He might be in the alternative 1985 if we actually get that far. There's some boots there. Can we get? No, I missed those. There's an S which I should have got. Energy isn't looking too bad. Come on, McFly. Right, hang on. There we go. Energy's back up to maximum. Come on, Marty. I might even complete this, you know. It's good that you get the continues after your life. It just takes you back to the original save point. I think I've only got one bit to go. When we go horizontally again, if it ends with the townhouse or the clock tower. Actually, I think I've still got quite a bit to go. I've been run over, and that loses a life straight away, I believe. Get ready. Yeah, Back to the Future Part DOS. So not at the start. I've still got quite some distance to go in this one. So there's a little bit of grinding going on. Come on, McFly. If you've completed this game, let me know. I think the next section is we have to try and direct Jennifer. She's trapped in a house in 2015. And we've got to try and avoid her bumping into her older self by opening doors and getting members of the family into different doors and getting her out the front door. There's a picture based one as well. You know those toys you had as a kid where you're moving squares around to try and form a picture. There's something like that as well. And there's a kind of a beat 'em up bit where you're walking around 1985 and the thing ends when you the fish under the sea dance where you've got to outrun Biff in his car when you're on the hoverboard and get back the sports almanac, which caused a big problem in the first place. Gray's Sports Almanac. First you tell me how you got it. Right, butthead. No, I still can't punch that person off the hoverboard. I think that is Griff. Right, it's that nuclear thing. Doc Brown, eh? He built a time machine out of a DeLorean. To get the plutonium, he just gave some terrorists a bomb casing filled with old pinball parts. They weren't best pleased, and they come to try and attack him. But there we go. If you haven't watched the movies, well, you really should do. I've got them on Blu-ray, but I haven't watched them for some time because I've never got any free time. Never got any free time. What a numpty I am. Right, so how many roads we've gone up this time. There's that Snowy, the dog from Tintin. I don't know what he's doing in this game. Maybe he's a time traveller as well. He might well be. Go Snowy. If you are Snowy, then comment below. Right, so I think I've just got this road and another horizontal road. I don't want to fail after all this time, but energy isn't looking brilliant. Come on. The best hoverboard you can get is a pitboard. A pitbull, I think. It's got jets on it and all kinds of great stuff. I find if I keep jumping, I can avoid getting hit by these hoverboard nerds. That's probably a good system. But as you can see, energy has just got that blue arrow. Let's get to at least a save point. Lives are 0, so this is my last life. If I don't do it, then we're doomed. Extended time. Good. Extend that time. Does it look like Michael J. Fox this? No, it looks a bit like that guy from School Days, Eric, but he hasn't got any lines this time, so that's quite good. Oh, there's the water, that is, although it's grey. Have we done it now? What's going on now? Is this the end? I think this might be the clock tower. Save the clock tower. Right, hang on a minute. Oh, I've fallen over. There's the gang. They've all blown up there. Is that it? Have I done it? Yay! Well, you know. Back to the future. I'll do editing on the save times because it goes on, well, the load times because it goes on quite some time. Definitely need a time machine here. Right. The police! Oh, that was Marty said that. They are taking Jennifer home. Great Scott! Oh, look, I've done it in the wrong voice. We have to get her out of there, Doc. Okay, we'll see. Is that Marty McFly? It looked like a mannequin out of some sort of like 70s clothes shop. But we can try. We can try and get her out. We'll give it a go. Right, here we go. So this is that bit I was talking about. So you see flashing doors. Jennifer's in the top left, I think. So by opening doors, all members of the family move to a different room if that door's open. So ideally, we need to get empty rooms, direct Jennifer into the exit. You might not be getting her. So there's Jennifer there in the top right. We're in the red room now, is Jennifer. Open those doors, swap those two people over. You can do this thing, can I? I think I've done it on the Amiga before. Maybe just like a fluke. So it's an interesting mix of games, this. Mini games all round the place. It isn't all the same. So it does reward you for getting to the next bit. I don't know what to do. But the good bit about this is, I think even if you fail to do it, you can. This is like a sub game. You can move on to the next stage anyway. Good old Hill Valley. If you're from Hill Valley, then comment below. You probably aren't, are you? It's for Lobos and Zipheads, the policewoman said, and I don't know what either of those are. What is a Lobo? What is a Ziphead? I don't know. Zippy out of Rainbow was a Ziphead. Maybe it's him. The whole of Hill Valley is occupied by people that look a bit like Zippy from Rainbow. If you're out of the UK, you might not know what Rainbow is, but Google it, put Rainbow Zippy, and it's the most scariest character you ever did see. Mind you, though, he's not as scary as Mr. Nosy Bonk. Zippy, how did he get on children's TV? I will never know. So 2015, it's very futuristic, isn't it, 2015? Yeah, it was supposed to, well, it's 30 years after 1985, and this is what they predicted would have been there afterwards. I'm not doing very well here. I think I just might get Jennifer to bump into someone on purpose. In the film, she bumped into her older self, and the older self said, "I'm young," and the younger self said, "I'm old," and they both fainted. So we got away with it. Doc Brown thought it might cause a problem and in the space-time continuum and rip a hole and destroy everything, but it didn't, which is always good, isn't it? It's always good. It might be limited to our own galaxy, though, I think he mentioned, but it wasn't. There we go. You failed, play again. Well, no, I said. I don't get it, Doc. This isn't the 1985 I remember. Yeah, they've gone back. You're right, Marty. Yeah. We are in an alternate 1985. Really? Well, your clothes aren't going to go down very well. Yeah, because Biff went back in time with the Sports Almanac, gave it to himself. He got good at betting, and now owns a casino, and this is what's happened to Hill Valley. It's all gone bad. There's Marty McFly again, looking very, very blue. So this is another sort of like game, which turns into a bit of a walk-in and beat-em-up type of game. Yeah. Well, we'll see how far we get here. And then there's only, I think there's only two other levels after this. The picture game I was talking about, we got to arrange a picture from the Fish Under the Sea dance, no, Enchantment Under the Sea dance, where Marty McFly is playing Johnny Be Good. Johnny Be Good. And then the last bit is, well, a bit like the first stage on your hoverboard, but you're trying to outrun a Biff. I mean, you go down tunnels and all that sort of stuff. Yes. Okay, Biff. Right. Whoa! Jump there. Where's Mr. Strickland? He's a slacker. That slacker. He's always been a slacker. He's from a family of slackers. They're just slacking. Now, those flashing things, I think, are energy pods. If we pick those up, we can get, well, energy. You could have worked that out yourself, couldn't you? Could you work that out yourself? Maybe. I could just imagine these graphics. I'll just imagine Wally Week walking on for Everyone's a Wally, or one of those other characters like Harry. I wonder what Wally Week would do here. You can see him coming on, couldn't you, Wally Week? He would fit in well with this. Good old Wally Week from Automania and various other games. 3 Weeks in Paradise, Pyjama-Rama. That was by Microgen, but this isn't by Microgen. It's by Imageworks in 1990, and they did the Commodore Amiga version as well. I'm not sure what other versions come out, but anyway. Yep, if you're liking the channel, please consider subscribing. That'll help me out a great deal. Hooray! Right, I think it's one of those reviews that's gone on way too long. Gone longer than I thought anyway. I tend to try and aim for about 10 minutes or so, but very often, I don't know why I keep trying to do that, very often we go over anyway. But who cares? We're having fun. It's all about de-stressing. And would I like this game back in the day? I would have tolerated it. It's another one of those okay ones without I wouldn't have run home from school as fast as I could for every minute of the day to be able to play this. But it is acceptable as a movie tie-in, and sometimes movie tie-in and TV tie-ins in particular can be particularly rubbish. But this one's passable without being a super stellar game. It's pretty average. Pretty average. Definitely you need to do your own music as you go through. Bom 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 bada bom 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 bom, and the voices, great Scott, and all those. Good or bad. Oh, there's Mr. Strickland. He looks like a slacker. He's always been a slacker. Take that, Strickland. Right. Eat lead, slackers, he says as we go past. Well, he might be saying it. We can't hear him on this version. Energy not looking particularly good either. But another one of those ones where it'd be good to complete. Where this game excels is, although it's not super brilliant, as I said before, it's got variety in it, so you're gonna get a lot for your buck there. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was on the ZXspectrum 48K. Back to the Future Part 2, based on the movie directed by Robert Zemeckis in 1989, published by Imageworks in 1990. Got any comments about this game, similar games, Back to the Future, or anything retro? Then please put that below. You're always more than welcome, and I love reading your comments. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.